Hey there, Elise Dewsberry from New Musicals Inc. with vlog number 107 in my series on how to get no feedback from Elise, completing my 9th year of vlogs. And this is step 7 in my mini series on pitching your musical. The idea being some pointers and thoughts about pitching your musical to potential producers. Step 1 was why are you the one who needs to write this show? What is your passion? Step 2, make sure that you tell me the story of your musical, not the plot. I'm not interested in the nuts and bolts of the plot. Number 3, some tips and ideas about demos, what they should and shouldn't be. And step 4, pitch deck. Goodness, my phone. I cannot believe I left my phone on. There we go. Step 4, creating a pitch deck or a sizzle reel and a website to make sure that people have places to go to get your information. Step 5, stay in your lane. Check that one out. That's about, you're a playwright, a dialogue writer, a book writer, a lyricist, a composer. You are not, for the purposes of this kind of pitching, you are not a director, a choreographer, a set designer, a scene designer. So don't pretend to be one in your pitch. Step 6, do your research. Make sure that you're checking into the places that you're trying to contact so that you're not sending things out willy-nilly to people that are not going to have any interest in what you've written. And now, finally, step 7. Step 7. So when we had our pitch conference last year, and I guess the year before, we often invite as a guest Cody Lassen, who is a Broadway producer, wonderful, wonderful person who's always willing to come in and talk to people and hear their pitches. He's just great that way. He has this metaphor that he uses, and I've heard the metaphor before, but he really extended it in a way that I love, which is basically that that collaboration is like a marriage. We all know that, and I've often said that for many years about how for a book writer, lyricist, and composer, working together on a musical is like a marriage, and that sometimes you need to date first to make sure that that you're a good fit before you decide to get married and write a show together. Cody takes that a little bit further and says that when you move on in the collaboration and you involve a producer, that's a marriage. And I just wanted to say some what I love about how Cody sort of talked about what the process is. So Cody says that you can't ask him to be your boyfriend before he's even swiped right. So that's the beginning of his metaphor. So when you're first approaching a producer, you have to be cautious how much you're asking all at once or how much you're expecting. It's okay to ask. It's okay to say, here's what I'm looking for. This is what I'm asking for. But to get cranky and upset or demanding because Cody doesn't immediately reply and say, I would like to produce your show on Broadway, what he's saying is, look, I haven't even swiped right on you yet, so you can't ask me to be your boyfriend. Give me a minute. Give me a minute to swipe left. And then moving on from there, if Cody then decides, or a producer in general, decides they've checked out your information now, so they're swiping right and they're saying, okay, I'm intrigued, send me some material. So that's the first date. When they say, yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit more. Now you're on a date. Okay, but you're still in the very, very beginning stages of a relationship and everybody's a little cautious, checking everybody out. Okay. Now, when the producer says, you know what, I really like this material and I think I'd like to do a staged reading of your show, that means you're engaged, right? That means things have been going so well, the dating has been so great that, okay, now we're engaged. We're contemplating marriage, okay? And then, moving on from there, it is like, you've been engaged and then you get married. But then I think the capper that I love that Cody brought up is when you actually decide to collaborate on a production, when a producer says, oh yeah, I'm going to produce your show, now you're having a baby. It's not, you swiped right, you went on a few dates, you got engaged, you got married. Now you're having a baby. That's a big step. So even for a couple that's decided that they want to spend their lives together, it's still a big step to decide to have a baby. So try to remember that when you're approaching producers. It isn't as easy for them to say, for you to say, okay, I've written the best musical that anyone could ever want. And then when the producer hesitates, you're like, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Is my musical not good enough for you? Why are you not getting back to me? Why haven't you read it yet? Why did you say that you were going to read it and you didn't get back to me? Why didn't you fall in love with it? Why do you not want to go straight to Broadway? Um, it's okay to say that at the end of the day, that's what I want is a Broadway production. but don't expect that means you're going to, fly past those steps. So just like if you were to go on a dating app and say, I am on this dating app because I'm looking for, I want to have marriage and a family in the future. But that doesn't mean that the first person who swipes left on you is ready to marry you, right? You've let them know your expectations, and that is fine, so that you're not, and this is not just a hookup. But you still need to understand that you still are going to have to go through the steps. Even if you're starting down the road with someone who understands what the end goal is, that doesn't mean that the end goal is de facto going to happen. You have to go through all those steps. So remember that it's a big commitment for a producer. They're going to be spending years with you and probably a lot of money. Now, yes, they have the potential to make a lot of money off of you, but there's just as strong a possibility that they will lose their shirt. And so they have to really know going into it that it's worth their while, that they can say, okay, if this winds up being a bust, I believed in it. I loved it. I'm interested in this team. I want to help them say what they want to say. And so I'm willing to risk my shirt on this. So weigh your own expectations and understand what you are asking of a producer. So ask it, yes, but be very understanding of the steps it's going to take to get you to a point where they're willing to respond, right? So it's a marriage. Treat it as such and be patient and be ready to take those steps. So that's the end of my series on pitching. Again, a quick recap. Make sure that when you're first contacting a producer, you start by telling them who you are and why you're the one who should be writing this. Why is it your passion that you must be the one to write this musical? Make sure that you tell them the story, the theme, the basic ideas, what you want your audience to walk away with. Don't give them the nuts and bolts of the plot right away. They're not interested yet. Okay, and then make sure that you've got good, strong demos for at least 3 to 5 of your songs, and as many demos as possible that maybe aren't at quite the same level, but as many demos as possible for someone to listen to. Make sure that you create a pitch deck or a sizzle reel that gives just little glimpses of that and doesn't expect anyone to, like 3 to 5 minutes tops to see if you can get get them interested. And then if they are, you can have lots more material on your website so they can spend hours, but don't expect them to spend hours right away. Stay in your lane. Make sure that in your materials you aren't trying to take on the role of the director, the choreographer, the set designer, the scene designer, in an effort to save them time. That's not how it comes across. Stay in your lane. Do your research. Make sure that you're contacting producers that are likely, or at least, there's a possibility that they would be interested in your show based on the genre, the cast size, the style, the budget, various other things. So do your research about that. And then always remember that it's a marriage. And so don't push it too hard, too fast. Take the steps, understand the time that it's going to take, and hang in there. Okay, so I hope all of that helps you as you are looking to find a producer for your show. And I wish you all the luck in the world in doing that. Thanks, and toodaloo.